So I'm sitting down with Kim today, and we're gonna discuss parenting and how she feels, being a new parent and seeing how her child grows. Just tell us a little bit about him.
So my son is 20 months, and his name is James Wilbert, and he is much smarter than I could ever have anticipated. Like, I knew what type of parent I wanted to be, which is why I waited so late to have kids. But I wasn't ready. Like, me and my husband had a whole plan that we knew would change here and there, but we were not ready. Like, for instance, my son has a tablet that he watches YouTube Kids on. You set the parental guidelines, you make sure nothing crazy because folks are nuts.
Yeah.
And we let him sit and watch his shows as long as we hear 1, 2, 3 ABC. Cool. But I noticed. Okay, he here's the tablet. Here he is, like, just watching. James, back up before I take it from you. I don't want to take it from him because he's learning. Yeah, he's learning. He knows how to work it, unlock it, push the buttons, go to the show he wants to go to. That's it. By the fourth time, you know what, James? Too many. Thank you. I close it. I put it up where he can't reach it, and I say, go play. That was it. That's all that happened. He didn't whine. My son has this thing. He's a real actor. He does this, like, literally. He used to do, that was his pose. He will pose at you and whine. I don't know why, but it happens. So I'm playing on my phone. I'm putting together my social media for my nonprofit for the week. And it took me about 30 minutes. I put my phone down to go do something. And when I look up and I come back, he has picked up my phone. It locks automatically. He has unlocked my phone. And he's turned on YouTube Kids to what he wants to watch. My son is 20 months. And he's just walking around the house like a grown man, just watching. I said, James, that's not what mommy told you to do. Took off. I couldn't get mad because it was funny, but he did something wrong. And I can't tap you because you did something great at the same time. So I was confused as hell. Like,
So what made you okay, I can't do nothing because he was showing some brilliance at the same time?
Exactly. Like, I don't want to stifle that. I don't want to stifle that curiosity. I don't want to stifle that he has this adventurous thing. My son has this thing. If you scare him, he's charging you. He's going to jump on you and y'all going to fight. He's not running away crying.
So do he interact with a lot of kids?
He has cousins he sees every once in a while, but not often enough, I'll be honest. Like, two of his cousins, one is 7, one is 3. They're both,
and he's about to be 2?
He's about to be 2. And they're homeschooled, and you can see how he's trying to, like, keep up with them, which is awesome.
Okay.
But they take such good care of him, I just kind of, like, go learn.
So do you think that's where he's picking up some of this stuff from?
I think so.
Okay.
They have their tablets. One is also 5, and they're all, like, homeschool, piano lessons, ballet, whatever it is they're doing. And it's just awesome to watch.
Now, are you doing anything in particular to, challenge him and stimulate his mind?
He has a section where we keep his books. And periodically, James, go pick a book you want to read. He gets up, he goes to his section, he picks up a book, he brings it to me. We sit down, he turns the pages, we do this. He knows when you're spelling his name.
Okay.
If I start J-A, and it's so cute. And then I say, well, how do you write your J? He puts his finger in your hand and
he tries to draw it out.
His J. So it's awesome.
Now, how do you feel about him with schooling? What are your plans for that? Do you plan on putting him in daycare? You plan on waiting on him to start regular school?
We may do, and it's going to take a lot of research, but we may do a daycare situation here and there, like sporadically, because now my mom is at home with him, and she's amazing. She's a big part of the reason he is as advanced as he is.
Now, why did you say you would have to do a lot of research in order to put him in daycare?
Well, one, folks are nuts. Two, I need to know what your curriculum is. My child can't sit there all day watching you on your phone, watching you do whatever it is you're doing. He needs to be learning. I'm not paying for him to be sitting with you, and he could be sitting at home with my mom for free. It's just I know that when he starts talking, and we can hear it. It's sharp. We know what's going on, and he can identify this person did this and I didn't like it. Until then, he's home with my mother.
Okay.
But he will be homeschooled. Although there is an alternative school that they are putting together now that the kids are in school for 2 days out of the week and home for 3 days out of the week, but they have the curriculum that they need to be running while they're home.
Okay. And now, so what made you make the decision to homeschool them?
Homeschool kids are just way more advanced. At school, you learn to sit still and follow the lesson. Well, my little brother and me were one of those kids that, okay, we're bored. And yes, we're talking. I fell asleep. But I aced the test. And you have my homework assignment. So why are you bothering me? I never understood it. I did it. Why are you bothering me? So I feel like homeschooling is just that it'll just put him where he needs to be a lot faster. It's 4 hours out of the day that have to be academic, and the rest of the time is whatever it is we plan to do. But with that, I just need him to make sure he has those social skills as well.
And that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Is how do you feel about homeschooling him, knowing that the kids do need those social skills and do need to be able to interact with other kids? So how do you plan on doing that with him being a homeschool?
We've already discussed it. No matter how many children we have, they all have to pick a sport and some sort of musical outlet, whether it's an instrument, whether it's dance, whatever it might be. So at this point, it's looking like piano lessons and football or soccer, because he just likes, he already, I get home, if it's warming up outside, he has his green kickball, which is his favorite one, and his jacket in his hand, because my mother's already put on his shoes. It's literally, I'm out the door, and you're not sitting down, you're going outside. Stop playing with it. I've been in this house all day. So that's it. So it's looking like soccer right now.
Okay, so this is your first child.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how you feel like going through the phases. Like, he's about to be 2 now, and they say terrible twos. Like, are you experiencing that? Is that coming?
I'm experiencing. We are going through it, but at the same time, I know where it's coming from. My son is very reactive to imbalance in our home, and we had a house guest for a month and a half. And in that month and a half, he went from, you could say his name and he paused. What I do? What's up? You call me? Huh? To, she didn't call me. I don't care. She don't say it again. She ain't talking to me. So that once that house guest was gone, and now I noticed, okay, he's getting back in his regimen. It's all going okay. I've noticed my son genuinely just needs balance and to stay on his routine. The consistency is so important when it comes to him, and I don't know if that's all children or just certain ones.
But so here's the thing is, I get the consistency, but there's going to be situations where it's not going to be the norm for him. Yeah. So how do you intend on making him comfortable in those situations when it's out of the norm, and so he don't act out?
Yeah, that's the part we're working on now, because we learned a lot in the past month and a half. It's going to be a lesson for us too, to be perfectly honest. Like, you have an idea, everybody's immediate reaction is, I'm gonna tap that butt, spank your head, but that's not always the case. Like, for me, I was the kid if you talk to me, I was okay, no problem, and I'm done, because I don't want to get that beat because of such and such as guy.
Yeah.
Whereas my brother, you had to wear that ass out.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, you had to tear it up.
Yeah. So every kid is different, and so with him right now, because you already seeing the traits that when the situation is not the norm for him, he's acting out. So I know as a parent that you really have to control that while they're young. Because if you don't control it while they're young, it's going to get out of control. So the question is how do you intend to control it? I know you said beatings is not for everybody.
Oh, I didn't say I wouldn't beat them.
Okay.
It's going to be dependent
on case situation.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. I'm my
so do you punishment? Like,
yeah, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're
okay. He at this point right now, he still standing in the corner for 30 seconds is torture for him, because it feels like forever for him. So I can literally go stand in that corner, and his whole world, you can see it just Die. Tears. He'll stand there and just cry. I mean, screaming, crying, and for 30 seconds. And I say, "Are you okay now? Now go sit down and watch TV."
So now, when you put him on that timeout punishment, do you explain to him before he goes to the corner exactly why he's in the corner and how he can stop from being in that corner?
I tell him, "You can't do that. Now go stand over there." That's how I'm doing it right now. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. My son is smart, but he's still a baby. Right?
Well, he's about to be 2.
He is about to be 2.
So I think you can explain, because I know for me, like at first I used to yell at him and be like, "Go on over there, go do this," and it was just like after a while I was like, okay, they don't really understand what they did wrong. So I sit them down and explain to them what they did wrong, and then I punish them.
Okay.
So that way you understand this is why you're being punished, and if you don't want to be punished again, you're gonna do that again.
You're right. You're right. I think I will. I'm gonna start. I don't know how long the explanation is. I'm just gonna try to make it as possible. Don't do that, and because you did that, go stand over there.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do now. But it's like a no, don't do that. Go stand over there. But I'll try to like link the two more.
Yeah, so
that might help
out.
out. Yeah,
and then he might not do the same thing over and over again.
No, but that's the thing. He's not that much of a repeat offender. Like he's
he new stuff when he get in trouble.
Girl, I be like, really?
So he testing to see what he can get away with.
And that's where we are right now.
Okay.
Just
okay.
Slick. I just want to be too much like, be more like your daddy. Don't do what mommy did.
Now, so it is good. He has both parents in the household. He's raised by both parents. And now, how do you guys feel about this new day and age, where children want all the electronics, they want the flyest things? What are your plans for your child growing up? Like, do you plan on giving them the hottest electronics? Do you plan on having, the LeBrons and the,
See my face? See my face? That's an earned privilege. And you want that? What work did you do to get that? Like right now, my husband has a production company. He knows that, okay, I need this new equipment. Okay, what income thing, what have you created to pay for that equipment? Because we're not just going to buy it outright. What did we do in this household to pay for that? That's what the guy that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, I can't remember his name, he said he wanted a Porsche. But his wife said, you need to make sure you have a source of income paying strictly for that Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what he did. And once the Porsche was paid off, he still had the source of income. So that's where we're working toward right now. But as far as like the electronic, like that's what my point is. Like for those electronics, did you clean out that garage to get that phone? And if you want to be on that phone or that tablet, did you rake that yard up? Mm-hmm. And how long is that chore worth you being on? How long do you think I'm going to let you sit in that tablet? Because right now he gets about 30 minutes at a time.
Okay.
And that's how we're monitoring now. So it's 30 minutes of tablet. Now go play for a good hour or so, or go read a book. But you can't be on an electronic for a good hour.
Good all the time. Okay. And then with the hottest clothing and stuff like that, how are you going to feel? Because I know for me, like my son is 14 now, and I feel like if I don't get him hot stuff, then he gonna get picked on. Oh. So it's like I went through the bullying phase and getting picked on because you was less fortunate. How do you feel about that with your kid? Like, do you feel like that's gonna be a necessity to make sure he fresh to death? Or is it like, whatever is cute, and that's what he gonna wear?
It's cute. You better leave me alone. You want a what? I don't even have that Gucci belt you talking about. I'm like, what? So, I'm not even sure if I've thought that far ahead. We've thought about the bullying. That part has come through to our minds, which is probably why we're so rough with him now.
Okay.
I'm rough. My husband be, don't. He can take it.
Mm-hmm. You have to prepare them. You have to prepare them. You have to be rough on them.
Yeah, like my cousin came to visit a couple weeks ago, and he was just doing his thing, and she looked up. He is so rough. I said, yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. He will headbutt you in a minute.
Now, here's the question though. So, because he is so rough and he's almost in that terrible 2 stage, they say, do you have situations where you're out in the stores and he act out?
He did that one good time, and I was like, okay. I had to assess the situation. What did we do before we left? What was going on while we were in the store? Did he show any signs that something was wrong? Blah, blah, blah. So I kind of went through the whole motion, and I realized he was sleepy. I got to make sure he take that nap before we get wherever we're going to go. Because my son is, they sleep. I didn't realize he hadn't had the nap that he needed.
But how did you react in that situation?
Okay. You okay? Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like you're a baby, you're gonna cry. There's nothing I can do about that.
So it was like a tantrum.
Oh yeah, it was a hell of a tantrum. I got to the line, I paid for my stuff. Thank you, sorry y'all. And we went to the car.
So you ain't say, you better stop all that crying here.
No, I'm not that. My parents didn't do it to me. And so I guess that kind of leads on to, like, I don't do it to them. Like, both my parents are veterans. So it's very, I need a clear path of execution so I can just knock it out. So if I know that I'm not about to yell at you in public, but please understand that when my voice gets like this, you have a problem. And I look at him in the eyes, he understands. He kind of, like my father whispered at me. He never, which I hate for people to whisper at me now. Don't whisper to me. Yeah. Doesn't talk. So, like, he just didn't want me to
he resonates that, okay, this is mama's tone when she mad in public.
When she mad, don't, just period. Like, I'm loud at home, but I don't yell at him. Because it's just not a habit. I don't want you to get used to women yelling at you. My father didn't want me to get used to men yelling at me, so he just never yelled at me. I don't want you to get used to women yelling at you. A woman start raising her voice at you, you need to walk away. Don't get used to going back and forth with nobody. Come here, I'm talking.
And see, I get that, but I just feel like sometimes you got to yell at the kid.
I probably will get to that point. My voice loud is squeaky. It don't work.
And so you say that's what the daddy is for, and
well, that's what his daddy is for.
Okay, yeah. But no, what I'm saying is a lot of times the father, they start to feel like, oh, you making me to be the bad person every time. You ain't never yelling. I'm the one always doing the yelling and having to do the disciplining. The kid ain't gonna be liking me because I'm always being the mean one.
No, my husband is like,
because I've dealt with that. It's like,
really?
I discipline my kids, and then it's times where I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna let your daddy handle it. But it gets to the point where the kids is like, they friendly with me and they like pass it to daddy, and then he's like, "Oh, you did it because you made me be the disciplinarian." No. So you don't think it'll ever be like a situation like that?
They spend so much time together. They're so playful with each other that by the time my husband gets to a point where he feels, if I say, "Babe, can you blah blah blah," and he takes him into the situation. He's not just going to jump on it like that. He's going to, okay, let me look real quick. He look at everything, and if he has to, that my husband's voice, it sounds like thunder when he yells. Like, me and don't do that. Yeah. It don't work. Yeah. It's not okay. Yeah, I hate it.
And that's what most moms say. Most women feel like, the men can discipline them because all they got to do is come with that deep tone.
Girl.
And that right there is enough. But the men is like, sometimes I want you to be the disciplinarian. I want you to go off.
But that's the talk that we've had because I said, don't, that's what I expect. I don't want to say it. I'm going to give you at least 6 times to say it because I understand you are a child. But understand, when I tell you that last time is up, that I meant that. So my husband, baby, wait. I was watching. Give me one more chance. And if he does.
Y'all some nice parents.
We really are.
I'm going to tell y'all some nice. For 6 times, I wish I might have gave my child a 6 times.
Ooh,
you get 1, 2, and possibly 3. But 6, you might not even get to the 3.
I'm not going to lie. I've taken in a lot of my husband's patience. My husband brings a lot of balance to our house. Like, when I describe him to people, he's a real leader. Like, there's no hollering in this relationship. There's no, you got attitude, walk off. Hey, what's wrong? That's it. He reels me back in. I'm the problem.
Well, it's good you got that balance.
Yeah, he definitely. I think he emulates his father. Though I have noticed. So it's just I see that cycle. Hopefully it'll continue. I'm praying it will continue because he and his dad. I'd be like, yes. Thank you. Pick the good one, child.
Yeah, you got a good one. You got a good one from what I've been hearing. From what I've been hearing. But I think you guys are on the right path with y'all child. I do think it should be a little bit more disciplinary in there. A little bit more of, hey, you knew better than that. Let me explain this to you. And then you go sit down and think about what you did.
Child.
I think it should be a little bit more of that. Because I know in the beginning with my son, I was more laid back. Like, I didn't want to, because I was yelled at as a child.
Okay.
And I was,
There were certain things you didn't.
It was certain things I didn't want to do with my child. But as they were growing, I was just like, you know what? I'm glad my parents did that to me. I'm finna do this to them.
Yeah, that's one of my, like, I see the relationships or, like, a couple cousins, I'm just like, y'all really just giving them too much. Like, so one of my things is, like, if I don't make you cry now, you're going to make me cry later. But I wait till it's, like, a necessity as opposed to, like, I like some, I hate to say friends, it's just people I'm acquainted with. Just watching them with their kids is their first thing out their mouth. I'm gonna be his ass. Wait. Why are you cursing at the child? Like 2 seconds. Just hold up. So I think I'm trying not to be, and especially as a black woman, trying not to be this because it's such a stereotype. And at the same time, making sure I remember. Listen, I'll make you scream and cry now. I'm being one cry later. Yeah. So
sometimes you're gonna have to say, I will beat that ass if you don't get right. Sometimes you just gotta say it.
We gonna find out. I'm just like, I've watched the difference in my parents, which they did what they did. Like they did a great job with the military. So it was attention. Okay. Yes, ma'am. No problem. I'm still to this day. My father, I'll say yes. What you say? Yes, sir. No problem. Gotcha. I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
But with my husband, I've noticed their father rarely had to raise his hand. Whatever he was doing, man, those are some extraordinary kids. Like,
and see, and that's the thing is too is it's way different now. Like then our parents bringing us up, and the way this world is now. You really got to prepare your kids for everything. You got to let them know that structure of I'm the parent, you the child, this is what you did. Because the thing is, when they go into the workforce, it's like, okay, I really did get disciplined.
Yeah,
that's stuff at home. So when I go out into the world, it's like, who is you? My mama didn't even do me like that.
That's another thing. We're not really preparing them for workforce. It's what business are you going to start? So, and for us, it's like, you can go to school. You want to go to college, that's great. But the businesses we're building now, these are here. And if you have a venture, that's like we're at this point in me and my husband's life, we found legacies. So if that worked for other people, if you want to, that's cool. But we set you up over here. So
but even if he take over a business that y'all created, even if he take over it, he still got to deal with people.
Oh yeah.
And he's still gonna have to interact and be like, okay, when somebody try to tell him something. It's like, well, my mom and them don't even talk to me like that, like, or stuff like that. Like, it's like,
that will be an issue. Like, it's definitely gonna be understood. Like, get up, get in line, and do what you're supposed to be doing. I don't see. My husband is old school Haitian, and they're harsh he's harsh without being like nasty about it. So I kind of let him, all right, whatever you want to. But I understand, like, we have to be flexible about the things that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean.
Okay.
So it's probably, we're going to see what kind of kid he is. Is he going to be
y'all
like
still
me?
learning.
You ain't lying. Or is he going to be more like my brother? So we're going to find out. We're going to find out which is it. Can we talk to him, or do we need to just really tear him up?
I mean, you don't always have to, that's the thing is, you don't always have to tear them up. Because the thing is a lot of times that if you don't sit your ass down, I'm gonna beat that ass. That's enough. You ain't got to do nothing else because now they going to sit down somewhere because they don't want that beating. So sometimes it's just that threat.
Yeah.
You got to threaten them sometimes.
Oh, man. I noticed that stopped working like a few weeks ago, actually. I wouldn't say ass. Listen, you don't sit down on my property.
Oh, so he know you're not going to pop him.
Now he's
don't believe it no more.
He don't believe it no more. So now I got to no, actually, it stopped hurting. Like his leg, okay. He's well, you've seen pictures. That's a big little boy. Yeah,
you just got to increase your, you got just a little harder.
I don't want to hurt my hand. I think I might start finding little tender spots and just pinch it. Sit down.
Hey, whatever works now.
I'm worried about, he's so big. Jesus. I just don't want to hurt my hand at this point.
You're going to be good. You're going to be good. Now, you might hurt yourself, your feelings that you had to do it.
No, that passed a while ago. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even front. That passed a while ago. Okay. Now it's my husband. If he I think he popped him once. And you met him. Have you met my husband?
Yeah, I have.
He's such a teddy bear. You saw the heartache. I was like, oh, it's your first time. Bring it in. I don't like where we are right now. Bring it in.
So y'all do a lot of talking about parenting.
We did before I think our second month of dating, we named our kids. We talked about, because, at a certain age, like, it's past you cute, I like you. It's, okay, we need to find out what kind of parent. I'm very, like, I was that, just about to be real honest. We're about to have sex. Have you ever had STD? You sure? You positive? Because if I found out otherwise, you're not going to like me no more. You're going to really want to put a restraint on me. That was just me at that time. And so when I met him, to be perfectly honest, we knew where it was going, but I needed to have conversations of what kind of parent do you plan on being? How are your parents? So we had long discussions about
and y'all that. Still have conversations now about like what y'all gonna do as a parent and all this.
Yeah, we check in. So how's I'll bring one of us will bring a specific situation, and so this is what I did, and I'm not quite sure you weren't there. Blah 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 blah. Oh no, babe, it's either I think you handled it just fine, or you did good, but
okay.
Like we have to check in with each other. How we do the same thing in our marriage.
Okay. Well, that's good to check in. Now, I just don't want y'all to do all this okay, so when he do this, we not gonna spank him. We just gonna sit him in the corner. Sometimes you just gotta react.
Yeah, I went to dinner with my mom and dad one time, and there was a little boy at the table, a little older than me, and Billy, eat your peas. I told you I don't want no goddamn peas. Yeah, I don't want to be that kid, because the way my father looked up, I was like, oh, please don't get me, because he messed up, Daddy. It wasn't me. Bruh, I got so much ice cream when we got home, though. I got so much loving when we got home. He was like, what you want, baby? You want me? I said, I'm okay. Girl. So, yeah, like, that's having that memory of that little boy firsthand, that's not where we go.
Okay. Now you plan on having more kids?
We do actually. We're trying now.
Okay.
We don't want them too far in age. Actually, me and my brother are 7 years apart, so there's like a mom-sister relationship there, and I don't want that for my kids. Y'all brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you. I don't want you to feel responsible. Yeah, my child should be responsible for my other child. Now you should be responsible for teaching him. You should be responsible for being an example. Yeah. But at no point in time should you feel like the parental.
Yeah. Okay. So you're working. Are you doing anything
special?
Anything special to try to get pregnant?
To be perfectly honest, I was never pregnant before I went vegan. Something about changing my diet to that. My body just took to it. Everybody's not going to take to it. My particular makeup, that's where I'm balanced. I'm happy. Like I work. Everything works. So that's where we are now. And so, we're not trying now. We know we starting in a couple months. I'll say that.
Okay. So the plan is to be pregnant by
fall at the latest. Okay. I don't want to be pregnant in the summertime. It's horrible. It's all.
Well, y'all heard it from Kim today. Thank you for sitting down with me, telling me your story. You'll hear more from Kim. We'll do an update to, find out how everything's going with the pregnancy, how everything's going with the toddler, see where they at.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.